Welcome to Oz's online gym. Finally coming back to recipes and healthier, lower calorie cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make cabbage wraps. So what I'm going to do is take this cabbage and show you how to easily peel the leaves so that you can use them as wraps to make cabbage tacos, cabbage leaf wraps, or anything of that nature, just to get that crunch and something to wrap your food with if you are so inclined, or if you like eating wraps and the tortillas. This is going to be a very good alternative to tortillas. Even if you get the zero carb ones, they're still going to be higher in calories. Not that there are a lot of calories, but these are still going to be a lot lower. So how I'm going to start is first cut the head of the cabbage. I have a circular cut. I'll show you in the video in a second. I'm going to make a cut here. Then I will go deep into here, take the core out as much as possible and have it hollow in there. And then I'm going to put it in this pot with water. We're going to start boiling it. It doesn't have to boil, but the water needs to get warm enough to soften this. Ideally, I would just peel it off as is because it would be crunchy. As soon as it gets in the water, in the warm water, it will be soft. I would much rather have it crunchy. But the problem is when you start peeling it this way, and I will show you because I'm going to be peeling off the outer 2-3 layers anyway. Look, it rips. If you don't mind it ripping, you can just do it that way. In fact, I've had one or two where I was able to very carefully, let me show you how you could go by doing that. Like very carefully. Peel these backwards. All together. See, this is mostly done. See, this is mostly pretty good. But like I said, I need to get rid of the first 2-3 outer layers anyway because they are harder. You can see the color is darker too. And as you get past these, because they've been subject to outside elements, and they don't taste as well. So once you get past those 2-3, I'll take this last one out too, then those are the edible ones. And like I said, if you just want the leaves as crunchy as possible, you can just skip that step and be very careful. I'll show you one more time how you can do it. So, and this is the third layer. I was going to take this off anyway, but fourth layer and on you can do it. So I'm very carefully going to in here, and you'll see how much simpler this will be once we have it warmed up with the water. So you'll have to get them all together. And then peel it back. What would help you in this process is if you already cut the top, which is what I'm going to do now, because then once the top is gone, you can start leveraging from this top part out too. But you'll see now. So I'm going to just go straight through here. I'm going to make a circular cut. Circular as in rectangular in this case. So now I'm going to go in here, make a cut around to see if I can get the core out. There you go. See, now I can already start pulling these out. So this was the layer I was trying to peel out earlier. So now that it's free from the core, I can help with the rest of it. There you go. So that was the third layer too, so I'm not going to be eating those. And like I said, you can just work your way through the whole thing that way, but it'll take you an hour to do. Instead, I don't really want to wait. I'm fine. I'll settle with softer leaves. So I'm going to put some water into this pot real quick. So it's not full, because remember, this is a huge piece of cabbage. When I put it in the water, it's just going to overflow. When I put this in, I put the head part down. Doesn't matter. If you want, you can start here, but as you are going through, as the water warms up, as your cabbage starts softening up, you're going to be rotating it later, as, like, let's say this was with the top down. As that part gets softer, we're gonna be flipping it so that this part gets softer, so that it's easier to peel. So it doesn't really matter how you start. I can put a little bit more water into this pot. There you go. And like I said, even though it's on high right now, I'm going to lower it later. Remember, we're not cooking the cabbage. We just need to soften it so it doesn't have to keep boiling. I just initially put it on hot so that it can get to temperature faster, but then I'm just going to lower it to a medium low, just so it just keeps getting softer. One side trick with this, if you cut this, put peanut butter on it, it tastes amazing, or PB2. So now we wait as this gets softer. So it's been about 5 minutes. It's still warming up. And if you feel the texture, this part is getting softer. So like I said, I don't really want to cook it. I just need it softer, so I'm now going to flip it and have the bottom start getting softer too. And I'll leave it like that for another few minutes. Okay, this has been warming up. I lowered the temperatures. It's at medium heat right now. So I'm going to flip it. Be careful, it may be very hot. And it is hot. And I'm going to use these to start peeling stuff up. I'm also going to get one fork because it makes it easier. Because I'm going to stab this so it's easier to flip. Okay. Now, look how much easier it is to peel this off. I'm going to go in. I can just do it with my hands. Now be careful, if you feel any resistance, stop if you want it in one piece. Go to the other end. Okay. Look, since I had been flipping this back and forth, this part is softer now too. So I can just grab this and start pulling this off. And there we go. This is intact, one full piece. I'll get this container and start putting them in there. Let's do another one. That's why I have this fork here, so I don't burn my hand. If you want, you can just tap this right on the head part. There you go. So let's see if we can grab this piece. Remember, this is all in layers. If you're like, you may be thinking you're grabbing this layer, but maybe you're actually grabbing the layer underneath. So be careful what you're pulling. Again, this isn't really rocket science. It's not even any science. You're just trying to make a clean, or you're just trying to peel a cabbage cleanly. That's it. Even if you rip it, so what? Now here's a trick I can show you. There, I just went back to the top part. I just grabbed this end, pulling it. There you go. Another one. I'm shaking the water off. If you don't shake the water off, they will stay wet. And if they stay wet, they will stay like that, and they will start getting bad faster. And they will kind of get slimy and not good after a while. So dry them as much as possible. You can also put them on a cloth or some paper towels just to dry them off as much as possible. One more thing, actually I'll mention it at the end. Let's go do a few more. Is to stay at the bottom and warm up and soften up yet. So I'm going to flip this. You can actually start seeing the color change too. They will get darker. So when it's darker, that means it's like already wet and softer. It'll be easier to peel. There you go. And when if you're gonna shake it from the top where the leaf is the hardest and strongest, because if you hold it from this end, it's just going to rip it. Another one. And I think for now, oh no, I can do one more. So patience is useful when you're doing this, because I could start taking a few more, but they're going to rip. So I want to make, especially for this video, I want to make clean leaves. There you go. And you can see at this point, the leaves are going to start getting smaller and smaller, because we started from outside, now we're going inside. And they're going to start getting smaller. After a certain point, those pieces that we get aren't really going to be worth making any wraps. And what I do at that point is I just start cutting I just let it cool and cut the whole cabbage, make coleslaw, or like add it to my breakfast in the morning. You've seen the breakfast I eat, like I mix the coleslaw with the onions and vegetables with the egg whites. So they get added in there. Because even these have, like it says, 0 carbs, 13 carbs, or 13 carbs, 12 fiber. Somehow that means 0 carbs. Anyway, but 60 calories. The problem is, if this were really 0 carbs, and if I don't have to take the carbs into account, with the gram and a half fat and 4 protein, that's going to give me about 29 calories, not 60. So is it 0 carbs, or is it not 0 carbs and 60 calories? Which one is it? So whenever I'm making my calorie calculations, I always add in my carbs. I don't worry about subtracting the fiber, especially if I'm on a diet, and if it happens that the fiber starts subtracting the carbs. Better for me, less carbs, less calories. But until that happens, I'll be just relying on actual reduced calorie count, and that's where these guys come in. So this I actually weighed it. So I don't really, as you know me, I only trust what I weigh, not the amount, because if you look at these are different sizes. Okay, this is gonna weigh more than this one, but I weighed this one. It's 50 grams, and I checked 50 grams of coleslaw, obviously without the dressing, just the shredded cabbage part. So 50 grams is 14 calories. So 60 calories versus 14. Okay, if you want a bigger piece, let's pick the biggest piece. Okay, this is a pretty big piece. So that's 60 grams. So it's still going to be less than the 60 calories you'd be getting from the tortilla wrap. Carb taste wise, obviously you can't beat the real thing. But if you just want something crunchy, granted these are softer, not fully crunchy, but still somewhat crunchy, better than nothing, and low calorie, you can easily use these. So enjoy.